Today I'm going to be talking about the iPhone SE 3rd Gen in 2023. Let's get into it. First thing I'd like to say is you get 3 different colours. You get white, black and red. Now I say that these are very simple colours and Apple have definitely done this on purpose because they know that the people buying these phones don't need anything extravagant. It's most likely going to be the older generation that are just wanting the home button. Now that does bring me on to, the older generation do tend to prefer the home button because it's more simple to navigate and it's what people are used to. Now that doesn't mean that it's a bad phone. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't consider it. If you are considering it, I'm just going to give you a couple reasons why maybe you should and you shouldn't buy it. So obviously this design is very outdated. Like it is, from the iPhone 8, and that design dated back to the iPhone 6. So this design has been around for a long time, and it honestly is quite a shock that Apple have kept it for this long and didn't do anything different with the iPhone SE 3rd Gen. But I definitely say there are better options that you could consider. I'm gonna go through 5 bad things, 5 good things. So the 5 bad things I say about this phone is the old design, Lightning, it has no headphone jack, and it does have 5G and a small battery. Now you may be asking why 5G is a bad thing. Now a lot of people are gonna buy this phone and they're not even gonna realize that 5G is on it. And most people buying this phone do not care about 5G. So it is a waste of the battery that is already small enough and that it will drain really quickly. And when your battery health goes down is really bad, it's not gonna be great. And obviously this outdated design, it just looks older, it's not as nice, and iOS isn't as optimized for a home button anymore. And it is a shame, but that is just the truth. So this phone does have the A15 Bionic chip, which is a ridiculously powerful chip for a phone like this. And I definitely say that if you do want a phone just to be able to take photos, take videos, get phone calls done, this phone will be absolutely fine. The A15 Bionic is a powerhouse, and I do not think that you're gonna have any issues with this phone with performance. But it also does have Lightning. Now, this isn't gonna matter for most people because, it's Lightning, and on a budget phone, it doesn't really matter.
Now you may be thinking, in the bad things, he said that Lightning was a bad port. And yeah, it is a bad thing to have Lightning on this phone because it is basically the industry standard to have USB-C, and obviously that has just been introduced with the iPhone 15. But I do think in some cases Lightning is a good thing because let's say you've had iPhones for years and the people that are going to be going for these type of phones are definitely going to be consumers that have a lot of Lightning ports, like to stick with what they know, and for them to switch to USB-C, it would be too late now. So I definitely do think in some respects that having Lightning isn't always a bad thing, but I just thought that I'd mention that just so that there wasn't any confusion.
But USB-C is obviously the better port, and it is a shame that this phone does not have it. I definitely say that the good things about it it's obviously the chip. You've got a nice rear-facing camera. For the price, it is the best $400 phone with that camera. I would definitely say that. Also, in the Apple ecosystem, which is a plus for most people, they just want to have iMessage, they want to have FaceTime, they want it to link well to their Mac and their iPad. Definitely a good thing. It's got a really nice glass back. I definitely say that the red is one of the best color choices that they've got because it just pops and it makes the phone look really nice. And 5, I would definitely have to say is that capacitive home button. It is honestly so nice when you press it and it just, doesn't click and it feels like it is. It does just feel nice to have that. Now, as I said before, and I touched on it at the beginning, but the battery health on this phone does decrease rapidly because of how small the battery is. It goes down to about 90% within a couple of months. Now I definitely say that it's not going to matter too much if you are inside and you're constantly surrounded by chargers. Don't worry about the battery life. But if you're going out a lot and you're doing different journeys and you're going far, this iPhone SE is going to need to have a charger with you all the time. Make sure you're carrying a battery back because I'm telling you, you will regret it if you don't. Now the screen on this thing is 4.7 inches, which is the similar size form factor to an iPhone 12 mini, let's say, but with a smaller screen. So this is why it's difficult because you've got the iPhone 12 and 13 mini if you just want a small phone, and you've got the iPhone SE if you want a cheaper phone. Now obviously the iPhone 12 mini is going to be a lot cheaper this month because of the iPhone 15 just coming out. It makes it really difficult because you've got this awkward gap between, if you go for Apple refurbished, you get an iPhone 12 mini for $500 and you get an iPhone SE for $400. You do have to weigh your options because they both have not a great battery life and they both do not have USB-C, and the iPhone 12 and SE do have 5G, so there is no compromisation when it comes to that, and you're not really losing much. If anything, it comes with the same chip and it still looks nice. The iPhone 12 mini looks lovely and so does the iPhone SE. So you do kind of have to make your mind up between whether you get a refurbished iPhone 12 mini or an iPhone SE. But my personal recommendation would be is get the iPhone 13 mini. Now for maybe a $200 extra than an iPhone SE, you can get an iPhone 13 mini with amazing cameras, wide and ultra wide. You get a nice OLED screen, you get a smaller notch, you get slight better battery improvements, and you just get a nicer design overall. And you do get a newer chip, so that doesn't mean you will have software support for a lot longer. Now you can't get the iPhone 13 and 12 mini standard, but you can get some really amazing deals, and I will put them up on screen now, from Apple Refurbished or from somewhere like Back Market or eBay, depending on what your preference is. It may be if you go for someone like Amazon, they have an amazing return policy of 90 days. If you do not like the phone, you can just return it. So it is a really good option. Now, I definitely say getting an iPhone SE isn't always going to be the best option, and just do take into consideration that if you are paying for this thing monthly, it may look like a great deal. Oh, £25-30 a month for a brand new iPhone. Yeah, it may seem great, but there's going to be a lot of hindrances along the way and things that you're going to notice gradually, because this phone isn't built for someone that uses it like a Powerhouse. It's built for someone like maybe a teenager that's just wanting to get an iPhone, or an older generation person that's wanting the home button, is wanting that old design because they're used to it. And believe it or not, there are still people out there that do want this design. It's a very iconic design, and it's a design that a lot of people are used to. So why take that away from someone if they are used to that? So do take that into consideration. And I definitely say that if you've got an iPhone SE 2nd gen, do not bother upgrading to the 3rd gen. There is barely any difference. But if you do have an iPhone 8 or 7, I would definitely say upgrade, get the iPhone SE 3rd gen. Actually, tell that any person that's got an iPhone 6 upwards or just wants to upgrade, they want to keep the home button, go straight to the iPhone SE 3rd gen, bite the bullet, get that phone. But if you are considering getting this phone because you use your phone a lot, you're going to be going on long journeys, definitely go for the iPhone 13 mini, because that is going to be the better phone overall. But it's been Harry. Make sure to like and subscribe. Peace out.